for those of you not in the... I look like Happy from Avengers. That's bad. Anyway, for those of you that don't know where I am, I'm actually underneath a Land Rover, would you know. This is our Discovery 4, and one of the guys here took it for the weekend, and it had a massive fit, basically shaking the whole truck. Now, it's very difficult to try and get from them what happened, because it just seems that the whole thing was shaking. And the only thing I could think of was the prop. So I'm under here now to look at the prop. I think I found out what the problem is. So we've got a whole heap of movement in there. Now there's a donut under there, so we're going to take this heat shield off, have a look, and I suspect the donut has basically stripped itself of rubber, and that is why under certain speeds, vibrations, if this thing has a wobble on, you're going to feel it through the whole vehicle. We have got absolutely no rubber in our donut, which is why the prop is shaking the Discovery 4 to pieces. So that's our problem. The only issue is I've got to remove the nuts here from the drive shaft into the transfer box, and I've got to drop it down and slide a new one on. Unless I can get that out, I'll have a little look. I'm really pleased that we now know what's wrong with the Discovery 4. I say I know, I mean, it's a 99% chance that that is causing the judder on the vehicle, because it was coming in and out at different speeds, and if you powered through it, spun the prop, I guess, to a point where it was accepting the rotations, it would ease off. We've got a couple of options. We could just replace the donut, which is a much cheaper option, but it's a very complex procedure. It is quite a complex thing to remove the prop, separate them, get all this fitted on, and then the hardest part is getting those props back together again in balance, because you've got to remember these props are two-piece, and if they're out of balance, you're going to cause more problems. So that is why at LR Parts here we have introduced this much cheaper aftermarket option. So this is a prop that is about, I'll have to just check, it's about 250 quid. So I think for the repair kit you're looking at about £100, let's say, and I'll put the actual price on the screen. Now we do an OEM one, but it's about £350. It's a lot more. So I think the reasoning behind us sourcing these cheaper aftermarket ones, which are our own product, I think the idea was that we want to enable people to do the job themselves, because honestly, doing the donut itself is a huge process, and a lot of garages won't do it because it just takes that much time. So for someone to do it at home on the floor, it's even worse. So that's why this prop is so keenly priced. It's the new morning, so we've got all our kit ready now. This is going to be almost impossible to film, but I'm going to remove these bolts here and the other end as well. I'm going to loosen those ones as well. Then we'll get our prop off. I just don't want it landing on my head, so I'm probably going to leave one bolt in this end, and then I'll tackle that end, but I won't bother showing it to you because I can't manage everything with one hand. So the front ones came off a treat. The back ones were an absolute mission. The reason is, you can see here that there's got thread lock on them, and they would not budge, so I had to basically heat them up enough to melt that, and actually then they were a lot easier to undo. So I've got those four undone. I've got one left in the front prop. I'm just going to do the little donut now, which is over here. So now all we have are, I thought that was a 17, it's clearly not. I think that's a 13. And then we should be in a good position. So that's the nut I've got. I'm just going to loosen that in a minute, and then hopefully it'll drop, but not on my face. We have got the fitting kit here, and you'll see what I mean. Obviously these are pre-thread locked, which is perfect, but that's what needed to melt back to get those out, because they were in there for good. This is the prop that's come off. So a couple of things I want to show you. You can see here, this is completely, well, virtually completely detached. That's the first issue. The second issue we've got is, look how it's really notchy, so that there, there. I'm convinced that it's catching and it's twisting. So I think there's been some damage there. I've also noticed that this is extremely loose. This is our new one. So first things first, that is lovely and smooth. Okay, there's plenty of articulation in there, whereas this one, it's got a notch. Also notice this one, the UJ here is really notchy and worn. So it's clicking. Don't know if you can service these. You can't. There's no grease on there. So whereas we take our new one, and that's nice and smooth. Look, no notches in there. So this was well past its lifespan, completely destroyed. Right, we are all buttoned up. I'm sorry it's difficult to see, but anyway, we've got our 6 bolts in there. I actually found it easier to locate it into there first and then into the back. I did this last time, and you might not have noticed, but there's these half moon retainers that have to go in, 3 of them. I forgot to put them in, but then I suddenly remembered before I got out from underneath the truck, and I did it last time as well. But anyway, don't forget to put those in. It's not a major deal because these come out nice and easily. Now we're all sorted. Just done the first test drive. I've actually put the protective shields, the underbody protection back on. It feels better. It's going to be really hard to say for a while if we fixed the problem, and that is because obviously it only happens every now and then. But on this drive, I've had it in drive, and I've had my foot on the brake, stalled, you know, in traffic, and I haven't had that lurch. I'm just going to park up now and have a chat with you and leave it in drive while I've got my foot on the brake and see what happens, because it did happen before. But you know what, regardless of whether it fixes the problem, even though I am still 99% sure that that is going to solve the vehicle shake, just after looking at that prop, it was absolutely mashed. So 100% it needed changing. So regardless of whether it fixes our problem, that did need doing. But as I said before, I'm pretty sure that is going to solve that judder, the shake. Whether it will stop the lurch when we're in drive, we are yet to find out, but I'm going to try it now. So we are going to park up. It's not a big job, but it's not the kind of job I'm comfortable with, because I do suffer a little bit from claustrophobia. And when you're under a disco, it's so much lower to the ground than what I'm used to with Defenders, because, you know, even though I'm a big boy, I can still slide underneath a Defender normally without even having any jacking up. There's loads of room underneath, and I feel more confident. With this, you know, it's a 2.5 ton truck that's just on axle stands, and if it for any reason dropped, that's game over. So I had Reese help me just basically as a spotter. Oh, it just lurched, and that is why I was talking. I wanted to talk to see if it solved it, and it hasn't. What an absolute bummer. It wasn't as violent as before, but it definitely did that little move. What the heck could that be? You know, we've done the prop, we've done the gearbox, we put 2 shots of that shudder, Dr. Shudder, whatever it's called, in there to try and prevent it from doing that. It changes gear really nicely. I just don't know what it is. We've got 2 more things that we need, or we could look at. One is a torque converter, so that could be on its way out. That could be well worn, and at the end of the day, if it is worn, that's a massive job. The only other thing that I'm thinking, and I've mentioned this before, is I'm still off the diagnostics, getting a reading of it not being able to communicate with the parking brake. Now, I don't think it would put the parking brake on if we're in drive automatically. I don't think that we've talked about this, hasn't got auto hold. I just don't know whether it's getting confused with, you know, the fact that it's got a problem with that parking brake. I think it's pretty slim chance that is going to be the issue. I think it's got to be the torque converter. So can we live with that problem? Yes, probably we can. It's not as bad, and certainly that little lurch forward then was far less aggressive than it has been with that prop. So it's obviously just transferring some torque through into the system a little bit and having a little moment, but we shall see. I'm going to keep you updated. I'll let the guys and myself will be driving this over the next few weeks. If anybody comes across that vehicle shake, we know we're in a lot of trouble. But as I said before, I'm pretty sure we've solved that issue. What a shame we haven't solved that little lurch, because then this would be the bargain of the century at £2.5 grand for this car. Just would be amazing. But we do still have a problem, so stay tuned. I hope this is useful for you guys, because definitely if you're thinking of doing if you've got that issue with the donut on the prop shaft and it's collapsed, it's something you can do yourself, but the easiest solution and the most sort of future-proof solution really is to replace the entire prop, because you don't know what damage has been done, and it's a much easier job. So it took probably 2.5 hours to do that prop, whereas if I did that donut, that's probably a 6-hour job, and you just basically put in an old prop on there. And as you know, when we got the prop off, even if the centerpiece hadn't been all notchy, the UJ at the end was notchy, it definitely needed replacing. So I would imagine yours is probably going to be the same. If the donut's failed, it's obviously been on there a while, and it could do with replacing. Now, just on a quick aside, I've just been sitting here chatting to you guys, and I've had it in drive with my foot on the brake, as we said before, and it just did another lurch. So that's 2 in the space of sort of 10 minutes. But on that one, I saw a little light flash up on the rev counter when it happened, and it was the brake light. So do we have a brake sensor issue? Do we have the electronic parking brake issue? There's something to do with the brakes, or something going on with that lurch. Something's not communicating and it's trying to leave. Now, I did think it might be the brake switch, but we've checked, and when my foot is even very lightly on the brake pedal, the brake lights are on. So I don't think there are any issues there, but it's something we need to look into. So I'm going to speak to the guys in Southport who did our electronic parking brake on the Disco 3. I'm going to speak to them, see if I can get it booked in, and we'll go along, see those guys again, and see if they can shed some light on the problem. So next week I'm going to hopefully have the Ali Sport radiator, which means we can get the Defender all buttoned up and running. That would be amazing. I'm actually off then for a couple of weeks, so there'll be no videos for a couple of weeks from the 11th, I think it is. That won't happen. However, this weekend I'm going down to Norfolk to visit Simon, who we've featured on the channel before with a couple of his Defenders. He's the guy who's got the Trophy Edition 110, the 2020 model Defender. He's looking at doing some upgrades. We're looking at putting an awning on it, a rear ladder, and potentially a winch and a discrete winch front. We've got those on order. I should be taking those down tomorrow. So if there's, this video will be coming out hopefully tomorrow, and then on Friday, and then there'll be another one next week will be about that. I might do it early, I might do some live, we'll see how it goes. I can't promise we're going to fit it, because the problem is it's a brand new truck and he doesn't really want to do too much cutting, and I've got a feeling there's at least, I know there's cutting needed for the rear ladder a little bit, not sure how much, and I know there's a little bit of cutting required for the winch, because you've got to cut the aperture for the fair lead. So it's whether or not he wants to fully commit to cutting his brand new Trophy Defender, but we'll see. Anyway, it should be a fun video and should be a fun trip. I'm also picking up a car for myself. It's a future classic, shall we say, 2003. It's another Golf, a little bit different. Now, I haven't done any video work of my personal sort of projects with old cars. I like cars from the mid to late 90s, early to mid 2000s. I've got a GTI Golf Mark IV at the moment, and I've done a lot of work on that, but I've got a new Golf. I've managed to pick it up. It was it's an incredible price, and I know you hear this all the time, it's got to be the cheapest. I'm going to say it, it's probably the cheapest in the world, and it is absolutely mint. Had one major issue which I have fixed. No, won't spoil it, but if I end up doing a video, I'll stick it on a new channel and I'll send you guys the link. So if you're into old cars as well, that might be fun. So thanks very much for watching, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and you'll get notification of all the future videos, including those shorts where we do the promotions every week, where you can get something for free or discount or something if you shop at lrparts.net. And I'll catch you on the next one.